small place with a big heart. It's the heartland, so we pump hard, get a fists up. We gonna rage on till our day gone.
Tell 'em I'm from a city on a map that you couldn't point out, but I rep that place. And it's love-hate, but I grew up here, so it's home base. Where my blood at, those memories, they all flood back. I remember
And we are back. Welcome to the Other State of Hockey here on 1350 ESPN.
ESPN.
Yeah, big time.
Still here.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is, right?
Hey, have a good Halloween?
Not bad, not bad. The boys brought home probably enough chocolate to feed a small village.
Yeah. My boy went out with your boys.
We need to post pictures of that, actually.
Absolutely.
My youngest and your son and one of their friends, three of them went as the Hanson brothers.
Hanson brothers.
And it was quite a look. Full props to the hockey moms for pulling off the costume on short notice.
Night before.
I know it was a late night. So,
yeah.
But
duct tape,
man. I tell you what, it turned out awesome. Anyways,
we will post it. We will post it. Okay.
So Derek Henner on this microphone, Frank Mink over there. This is the Other State of Hockey, the only full-time hockey media outlet in the state of Iowa.
State of Iowa.
You know, Minnesota claims to be the state of hockey. You know, guys, we've said it over and over again. Hockey lives here, and I think that's been used before, but it does live here.
It does live here.
We are giving the attention that the traditional media does not.
Right. And that's how the show got started, and that's how we will continue.
That's why we are rolling, brother. That's why we are rolling. All right. We are powered by webcast1live.com. And just a quick intro once again. Find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter, otherstateofhockey.com. Other State of Hockey on Twitter. Email theotherstateofhockey@gmail.com. And our YouTube channel is up and rolling. So, real quick, Frank, we'll talk about the week that was. The 3 stars came out on Monday. Carey Price, Jake Allen, and Jamie Benn, I believe, were the 3. Interesting to see 2
Was that this week or last week?
That was Stars of the Month.
Okay. Stars of the Month. All right. Okay.
So interesting to see 2 goalies in there. One we've talked a lot about, Jake Allen. I know we've seen a lot of him here when he played with the Rivermen and whatnot. But,
yeah. Because the Stars of the Week was
Marchand, Taylor Hall. And,
which I highly disagree with.
Well, make sure you get your media cred there for that, okay? So we'll talk about the week that was. Canadian streak got busted. The 9-0-0 got finally wrecked by Vancouver.
You're back on it, though.
Yeah, I could see it coming. You look at their games, the shot totals kept creeping up. Eventually, it had to break. And, going back to everyone's talks about, Toronto did it in 93 and Buffalo did it in 04. And, neither one of them turned into a Stanley Cup parade.
Well, the longest winning streak ever?
Flyers,
35, and they didn't make it either. Islanders beat them that year.
So it's fine to make the playoffs, but anything happens once you're there. So let's see. So, they looked really bad the night after that loss against Edmonton, played a period and a half of half-decent hockey and then folded up like a cheap lawn chair.
Right. And again, Corey Price was not in the net.
Yes, he was.
He wasn't.
He was. And apparently twinged his groin that game.
That's the game.
Yep.
Okay.
Apparently so.
Week, is he day-to-day?
He is out for at least a week.
Okay.
So we'll be going with Tokarski got called up. So Tokarski and Condon will be carrying the load there.
He's not doing too bad, right?
Condon's actually 3-0 now.
Okay.
So goals against is under 2. So good for him. We had Phil Kessel going back home to Toronto. They say you can't go home again, but apparently you can. And Phil probably stopped by his favorite hot dog stands on the way there. But
now, he didn't do much in that game, though, right?
No, he was not a factor. And neither was Sidney, which is not a shock either, the way he's been playing. No. He's had one game. He's had points, I believe, so far this year.
I mean, do you think coach is going to go soon on that one, or do you think they're going to keep him in there?
They've won 4 in a row, I believe, now. So you got to wonder. Pittsburgh's got some talent there. They got a young D. We've talked about these guys before. They go as Fleury goes.
Yeah.
He has a tendency of getting hot, getting cold. He'll let in some bad goals that, kind of just let the air out of the team. You wonder how long that young D will carry him.
Right.
And honestly, how long is it going to be? Because we're starting to hear discussion. I listen to a lot of the NHL radio on XM, and these guys talk a lot about, Crosby's so hard to play with, and who do we put with him and stuff like that. Because
why do they think he's hard to play with, though? I mean, I don't.
It's one of those chemistry things, from everything I'm told.
Right.
It's a matter of who plays with this guy because he's so much further ahead. It's the same deal we've heard about in Vancouver to a different degree. who plays with the Sedins.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's a matter of we had what's his name? James Neal played there for a while.
Yep.
Played with him, had some success. It waned out. I know they've had a bunch of guys in and out of that top line with him. I know the whole thing playing him and Malkin together washed out really quickly.
Right. They keep
So
trying.
now
They
they're
try
trying-
that every year for a little bit.
Yep. So they
do.
started off putting Kessel on the line with him, and that didn't work out. And then they put him on the line with Malkin. That seemed to click a little bit. So they're going to have to figure it out.
You know, and the thing about Crosby is he's not like one of those huge finesse where he's like deking around you. He's just always
Finds open ice.
finds open space.
Yep.
That's just his deal, and he's good at doing it. And he
Yep.
puts it home when it's there, but
Yep.
he's just been struggling. So we'll see.
Yep. Yep. Hey, and speaking of that game Saturday night, Clune Dog, Richard Clune,
Yes.
marked his return to the NHL.
Yeah. How'd he do?
Don't think. Well, they got shut out, so I don't think he had any points in that one. But be interesting to see how he sticks because
And
that
he'll be
team
on-
needs some character.
He'll be on this month.
Yes.
Here on the show.
Oh, tipping our hand. He will be a guest coming up soon.
He will be.
So it'll be good to see how Clune Dog's energy. That team is struggling, and with Toronto, of course, we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have some lean year. Probably a couple lean years. Shanahan came out and said that they are going to struggle during this rebuild, and this is going to be a full-on rebuild.
And this is a full-on rebuild. Now, they've been rebuilding again for a while, right? So they're
Yeah, but it's a matter of did they have a rebuild with a purpose, or when who was the guy that was there before the GM? Wyatt
Burke.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like his rebuild didn't really seem to have any rhyme to reason.
Are they
to it.
rebuilding around defensemen?
Not based on what they
enough?
currently have.
No.
You saw the post of the
That's a great
Halloween costume. It was a picture of a pylon with Fino's jersey on.
That was.
Once
We
again,
talk so much trash. The guy would just kill us if we.
well, we know he's not listening. We're sure of that, anyways. But just put skates. All you have to do is put skates on. I'm pretty sure you couldn't catch you anyways, Frank.
All right.
So, other big thing of the week, the Ducks finally got off to Schneid with a breakthrough game on Sunday night, a 4-2 win, I believe it was.
Yes.
Against Nashville. So,
Good.
does that buy Bruce Boudreau some extra time? Is the Boudreau watch going to be off for a little bit? Because, we know they got off to such a paltry start. 10 goals in their first 10 games for a team that didn't do anything and was a major factor last year in the playoffs and picked by a lot of people without much change this year.
No. And Getzy should be back soon. Right?
Yeah, he had an appendectomy, I believe, last week. It was an elective. I guess
Right.
guys will use any excuse to get out of that lineup. But
I wonder if that's been a factor, though.
yeah, it has to be. I'm sure he had something going on that was, say, a lower abdominal strain or something that had inflamed that or whatever. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes. So, like I said, 4 goals for that team that scored 10 in their first 10.
Right.
Maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign.
I'm telling you, it was the Matt Bolesky. They got rid of Matty, and that
Yep.
was it.
Yep. But remember last year, going into Anaheim, going into the Honda Center, that was like Death Valley for teams to go in there. These guys could not buy them. You could not get a visiting team to buy a win in there. These
Right.
guys were so tough.
Yeah.
And now to see them, they're, you just got to wonder, when's it all going to fall together?
I don't know. And I think it will. I mean, eventually. I just don't know if they're going to be. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it becomes not a tradition, but something where you keep losing like this, it starts to affect the team and their whole mantra on how they're living or how they're playing the game. And are they struggling every game and every mistake? Are you looking like, here we go again, and that starts to, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So, well, by looking at it, they're defensively, they're not too bad. Goaltending, they're okay. They got a couple of decent tendies there. It's a matter of, got to wake up to score.
They always have good goaltending.
Yeah.
I mean, it really did.
Yeah. So Tortorella, I believe he's 2-3 now since he's gone behind the bench for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
And do you think he's changing that locker room? I think that's.
We've talked about this before. I'm not a Tortorella fan.
No.
Just seen too many of his antics in the past when, he comes down to a pressure situation. Some of the stuff he pulled in Vancouver I thought was downright embarrassing. Now, that being said, I know the boys, a lot of his players said they love him to death.
Right. And that there was some that weren't too sad when he left.
And actually, that's a nice tie into a piece we got coming up. The next little bit I want to talk about. Speaking of your Flyers, Vincent Lecavalier finally got his first kick at the can.
Yeah.
So he got a fourth line shift, a couple of fourth line shifts the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Did not get any
Six minutes?
Yeah, something like that, 6 minutes. I mean, I think the anthem singer got about half that time. But Just a little background on this guy.
The anthem singers probably plus minus was better too.
Yeah, no kidding. A little background on this guy for anybody who's not familiar with Le Cavalier. So you got a 6'4", 215 left-handed shot center. Now, that on its face is probably every general manager's dream to have that.
Age, though.
Yeah, he was drafted early, had a high expectations. He went to Tampa.
Yep.
Was given the C his second season, had it taken off him the year after that. So they had it.
Did they take the C off him?
Yeah. They gave him a nice 8-year contract after that, worth $85 million, I believe. But was a compliance buyout by Tampa in 2013.
Right.
Now, of course, that was after the lockout, and teams were trying to get rid of those big salaries and things like that. There was apparently quite a scuttlebutt trade on the move with Toronto that wasn't really well publicized. They were going to trade him to Toronto. Toronto was going to use a compliance buyout to buy him out, and then Tampa was going to re-sign him. But apparently the league got word of that and put a memo out not to be using that kind of stuff because it circumvents the CBA, right?
It sounds like something Tortorella pull off. So.
Hey, GMs will find a way to get around it. Then Flyers turned around 10 days after he was bought out, signed him to a $22.5 million 5-year contract.
Right.
And he's got 2 more years left on this. So, and here he is.
2 more years?
Yeah. So he spent the first 10 games of the season in the press box. So there you go. That's he's the 3rd youngest captain in NHL history.
Remember his fight with who did he fight? Calgary in the Stanley Cup. Captain of Calgary.
It was gosh, I can see him. Iginla.
That's it. Sorry. Yeah, that was in the Stanley Cup. Nice little brawl. And
I remember him going
won.
with Lowe from Carolina.
Yeah.
He got in 2 fights with him, and Lowe cleaned his clock.
Yep.
That's Keegan Lowe, which is Kevin Lowe's son.
Look at you pulling something out of the file there.
Out of the back pocket file. Maddie is over there waving frantically at me. So we've got about a minute. We got 2 minutes. My gosh, we got loads of stuff to talk about here. So you got to wonder, these guys as far as going back to Le Cavalier, what do they do to him? I mean, I'm not even sure if they have a compliance buyout left.
And what's his age?
He's 35.
Right, we did say that.
I mean, I know they traded Pronger, so I'm assuming they couldn't buy out his contract because of the way the CBA is structured.
I mean, what do you trade him Pronger? I mean,
he's 35 though. As far as I think the CBA actually protects his salary, he's guaranteed that salary.
Right.
So you couldn't buy him out. You have to either trade him or ride him out in the box.
Who are you going to trade him to? Like, who want? I mean, really. There's.
And you look at his numbers; he's fallen off greatly the last couple of years. But talking about Tortorella and the tie-in, actually, that was part of the initial thing. Was why Tortorella got fired between trouble he got into with him and Stamkos. Sorry, no, with him. Stamkos was when Barry Melrose was there.
Yeah.
But and it seemed to work out pretty well for Stamkos. And Melrose has still got a spot on ESPN every 6 months when they dust him off. But dust off
the hair.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm just interested to see how the Flyers are going to handle the situation that they keep painting themselves into.
No, they always do. They get these big contracts and, goaltending before.
Yep.
And now we're just, they're always kind of stuck behind something big.
But what's been the constant? Bob's been there forever.
Bobby Clark?
Yep.
Well, he just does an advisory role now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, still a constant.
He still is a constant. Well, Ed Snyder.
Yeah. So he's got so far this year for your 22.5 over 5. He's got a whopping 2 games played, no goals, 1 assist, +1, 2 penalty minutes.
Hey, he's got +1.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
That's not bad.
+1. I would say you go about $1 million.
Real quick, in the Oak Crap app, brought to you by grllaw.com. Dustin Byfuglien had a hearing yesterday regarding the high hit to the head of Brendan Gallagher on Saturday night. Of course, Byfuglien's about 6'9", Gallagher's about 4'3".
Okay.
So his elbows come up to about the level of his head, but
he's got a couple of majors already, though, right? This year, 2 or 3.
Getting much in the way of disciplinary in the past.
Not this one. This season, though, he's got 2. I know he's got 1. I forget the game, but he boarding got him on a 4-minute. So
of course, and we talked about Gallagher. He's one of those guys that gets in the middle of it, is not afraid to take his licks.
Yeah.
And also talking Mark Stone from the Senators. He got a 2-gamer for hit on Landon Ferraro of the Wings.
Right.
I think that's Stone's first since he was a rookie last year.
That was the high hit. That was another hit to
Another
head.
high hit to head.
Yeah.
The league is trying to make a good precedent of they're not going to tolerate the hits to the head because it's the whole concussion issue that keeps rearing its ugly head, no pun intended.
Yeah, well, and they should. I mean, it's something you have to protect the players if they want to stay on this game. I mean, it's a fast-moving game, so.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, we are going to be going to a break here real quick. Coming back, we have a special guest in the studio. Nice to have an in-studio as opposed to over the cell phone.
Yes.
It won't mess up my hair with the headsets, so. Anyways,
you
Maddie,
look like you landed in an airplane when you're wearing them headphones, so go ahead.
Exactly. Maddie, go ahead and pay some bills. We'll be back in a second with the other state of hockey.
Got it.
Hi, Joe Smith here from Leaf Guard Exteriors. We suggest you stay off your ladder and let us take care of your gutters. We'd love to come out and show you why Leaf Guard's patented seamless one-piece design is the best on the market. The only one with the good housekeeping seal, and Leaf Guard is guaranteed never to clog or will clean your gutters for free. Call us today and get 50% off installation labor on a new Leaf Guard brand gutter system. 599-1675. That's 599-1675.
Hey kids, why do you like going to the Iowa Wild games?
Crash, the t-shirt tie. I like Chuck-a-Pop. Crash always gives me a high five. It's fun catching t-shirts from the cannon. The goal horn when we score.
There's something for everyone with Iowa Wild Hockey at Wells Fargo Arena. Check out iowawild.com for the full season schedule, including a full list of giveaway nights and promotions for the family. Iowa Wild, hockey lives here.
I'm sitting here with Jeremy from Atomic Cloud Vaporium. I tried to quit smoking so many times. Patches, pills, nothing worked. Until I went to the Stop Smoking Center. And man, it has changed everything.
Here at Atomic Cloud Vaporium, we offer a solution using vaping as a replacement therapy. We have over 150 premium juice flavors and offer a wide variety of hardware. If you're serious about quitting smoking, come visit us at 3823 Douglas Avenue in Des Moines or at 328 Grand Avenue in West Des Moines. Atomic Cloud Vaporium.
This is Jordan from Flat Tire Center. There sure are a lot of places to buy tires. You can go to a warehouse club or the mega We Sell Everything superstore, or you can go to one of those anonymous websites. The same guy who sold you soap yesterday magically becomes a tire professional today, or the online tire advisors at a call center in who knows what country. We've been living, working, and driving in central Iowa for more than 50 years. Are you sure those other stores know what they're doing? Do you think they even care? If you need tires, come to Flat Tire Centers. That's flat with 2 T's because you too should ride on a flat.
Hey, this is Frank Mink, and if I had a first-round draft pick of realtors, I'd take Jen Stanbro.
Through my mortgage background and over 10 years of selling real estate in the Des Moines area, I have come to realize that my clients are my passion. Whether selling or buying your first or your 10th home, let me help you take the stress out of the process. I would love the opportunity to talk with you or someone you know that is looking to buy or sell a home. You can reach out to me by email at jen@jenstanbrorealestate.com. And Frank, that's spelled STANBROUGH. jen@jenstanbrorealestate.com.
From Iowa, yeah.
It's that small place with a big heart. It's the heartland, so we pump hard, get a fist up. We're gonna rage on till our day comes.
Tell 'em I'm from a city on the map that you couldn't point out, but I rep that
We
place.
are back. The other state of hockey. Frank, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Is that song still being played at the?
That song, I believe,
that's
the boys
still your
come
warm-up
out to.
songs, you know. Oh. Anyway, we discovered that guy. The guy that just sang this.
Yep. Real quick, this is a special guest segment brought to you by Felix and Oscars.
Felix and Oscars.
The longest standing place, sports bar on Merle Hay. They've been
sports bar before I recall it sports bars.
Yes, exactly. They've been there going on 25 years, I believe.
I think it's longer than that.
Yep.
Almost 30.
Cool place. It's been there. The original owners. It's one of the only places in town you can call ahead and say, "Hey, look, I'm going to be there around 6:30. Put my pizza in the oven, and it'll be there when you get up at the door." Great menu.
You can bring a team there.
You can bring a team there. No, there's none of this stuff of we're going to charge you 18% gratuity.
Right.
We're going to say it's automatic $50 charge or so many per head or whatever. They want to see you coming. They build a reputation on great service.
Burgers are phenomenal.
Yeah. Yep. I know it doesn't show, but believe me, I like a good burger.
And they're. I mean, I just had one of the burgers 2 nights ago. So.
Attaboy.
Hey, love it.
All right, Felix and Oscars. That's FelixandOscars.com on Merle Hay next to Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby.
All right, second period. We are back with our special guest as advertised. Number 29 for the Iowa Wild, Marc Hagel. Hey, Hags. Welcome to the show, bud.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's really refreshing to have an in-studio guest.
Yes.
So instead of having the headsets and the delay and everything else. So just a little bit of background on Mr. Hagel. He is originally a Canadian boy like myself from the Steel City of Hamilton. He is, unlike the typical hockey player you would think, he is actually a well-educated gentleman.
Hey, now come on, hockey players are well-educated.
Yeah. Well, we were actually talking about it off.
We were.
He actually got a degree from Princeton in, I believe, poli-sci.
Correct.
And then after that went to Miami, not Florida.
Right.
And finished a master's in public policy.
Yes, correct.
All right.
Did you play there too?
I did.
Yeah, okay.
It was so the way the Ivy League works is 4 in, 4 out.
Okay.
There's no medical red shirt. So that's part of being a student athlete there. That's the pressure they want to put on you. So my third year I was hurt, didn't play at all. And when I graduated, I knew I wasn't ready for pro, and I knew I had another year of NCAA eligibility and not Ivy League, and sent out some feelers, and Miami and a couple others came back, but I flew into Miami, and decision was pretty easy between the schooling and the hockey there.
Where else was you looking?
Denver and Northeastern. Northeastern was on me pretty heavily, and that's a great school too, and right in Boston, that would have been a blast, but I never even, once Rico flew me, I knew the decision was easy.
Was Decky still in DU when you were looking there, or was that when he was?
I don't know. You have to send out these permission to contact waivers.
Okay.
Because I was still, I was captain of Princeton at the time. Yeah. So it was kind of, I didn't want my teammates, because it's college hockey and that's all your allegiance and everyone's, So I was talking to the assistant coach, I believe. I don't really remember his name.
Kilder is one of their names. Well, anyway, go ahead. Decky's a good friend. So.
Yep. So Mark's in his third season now with the Iowa Wild. I saw an interesting article on AHL.com of you seeing your poster up on the side of Wells Fargo.
Oh, when was that article?
I think that might have been last year.
Oh, yeah.
But what's it like seeing yourself in 200-foot caricature?
Yeah, I didn't even, I just rolled into town because I didn't go to Minnesota's camp last year and no one told me. So I turned left there on 3rd Street or whatever, and I was like, oh, I think that's me. And then I went down to Buzzer Billy's, did another lap, and I was like, yeah, that's definitely me.
Do you get any gripe from the other guys? Anyone bust your chops about it?
Much constantly. I'm getting it from the guy. Yeah, like Mr. Iowa Wild, all these. Yeah. So, yeah. And I don't know. I took a picture, sent it back home to the boys. They were loving it. So
nice. So actually, we were talking about you going to Princeton. Your older brother Kyle, who plays with Charlotte.
Yep.
He also went there, and I believe you guys shared the same jersey.
Yeah. I joke mine was a little different. I had a C on, he has had an A, but same 25 Hagel for Princeton for 8 straight years. So pretty awesome to share that with your brother.
And of course, they confuse the two of you all the time. Right?
Yeah. They, by the first year I understood it, but by the 4th year going to Clarkson, I'm pretty sure they were razzing me by putting my brother up there.
If you're a visiting team, they're allowed to mispronounce your name and stuff like that. But I saw an interesting thing. Of course, you're from Hamilton. You got your first pro point in your hometown. Yeah,
and my first goal So I got my first pro point. I made a play to Paul Carey. He scored a nice goal, and then 6 months later, Warren Peters, when I was playing for the Wild, passed me a puck. I got my first goal in Hamilton too.
Nice.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's pretty nice. Cool. So. Real quick, you're wearing the A this year. What's that feel like?
That's good. It's you don't really try and change your approach. You know what I mean? You try and show up and be a leader in the ways and the platform that you're given. And maybe this is just as you're getting older, as you get used to the league, as you know what coach expects of you. You got a bigger platform, a higher platform, so to speak, and just try and do my best to help the younger guys coming in, because there's a lot of transition for those guys coming straight out of junior or coming right out of college. I had an older brother who kind of filled me in on what you do and protocol of pro hockey, because it's a lot different, and just trying to help those guys out.
Yeah. Now, did you wear the A last year? Or was it
No.
I was going to say, I wonder if it's more difficult wearing the A and the C, because you had a coaching change in the middle of the season, right? Or
last year?
Yeah, about 15 games in.
Yeah, so I wonder if that puts more pressure on you, if you're one of the leaders on the team, or, do you take some of that?
Kind of like I always tell players too, play like you're wearing it anyways,
Yeah.
It's a matter of how you conduct yourself. Actually, when we were talking a little bit off air, you started, I believe, off playing junior and in Canada, and then decided to go to collegiate route. And we're starting to see a lot more of that in the NHL and professional hockey, seeing a lot more kids coming out of collegiate. What are your thoughts on that? Just I know education obviously was very important to you at one point, or it still is, of course.
Yeah.
And just kind of get your thoughts on we're seeing like Eichel actually did come out of 1 year at Boston, I believe he was.
Boston, yep.
But we're starting to see a few more players come out, and just kind of getting interested in your take on the collegiate route versus going the junior route.
Well, I mean, it was kind of something that was natural for me because I was a late bloomer in hockey. Really, I mean, I needed to buy as much time as I could if I wanted to be a pro. So I wasn't drafted the OHL. I was actually cut from my 14 and 15 rep teams in Hamilton. So I was, it's been a grind for me. But I knew I always wanted to be a hockey player and pretty much was going to do anything possible to get there. But my parents always, I mean, just getting good grades wasn't like you weren't applauded for it. It was expected. So when everything, when I eventually made my junior team in Hamilton or in Oakville, and then I got traded to Hamilton, I wasn't gonna get like a big time D1 school offer at 18 years old. So I bided my time, took 2 years off school, like just sat at home, played hockey after high school, and then I eventually got recruited to Princeton. I think it's great. I mean, college hockey is like that. I mean, I was a 20-year-old freshman, and so there's 21-year-old freshmen. It's a man's game. It's a tough game, and it's fast too. It's up and down. Like it's not the OHL is a like traditional like what you're used to type hockey. Like a lot of puck possession, skilled players, but college hockey you got to skate, and that's it really helped me with my skating and gave me 5 years to work on my game before I turned pro.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing I think about it is the maturity level. You come out with a plan B for later on in life,
right?
With an education, of course.
And from Princeton.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
I try not to lean on that plan B because this is what I'm doing.
This is plan A right now.
Yeah, this is the
absolutely.
only plan. So.
But I think from a maturity standpoint, actually having to have growing up with the responsibility of having, keep that education, keep those academic eligibility, as well as the conviction to growing your game and becoming a better player.
Yeah, I mean, especially a place like Princeton, Miami too. Rico is awesome. There's just such a high level of personal accountability because you just there's no free passes. You got to get into Princeton. They don't waive that. So and then once you're there, I mean, professors don't really care that you're a hockey player.
Right.
Things got to get done, and you're held to the same academic standards as everyone else. And at that point, you realize like this is such a great opportunity. I can't wash this one away. So you need to take care of your schoolwork, and then on top of that, you need to perform as a Division I athlete. So yeah, you definitely come out a man.
Yeah, excellent.
Not like in they talk about the basketball players take that one class that all the basketball players take. Like
underwater basket weaving or something like that. Yeah.
The history of Aztec math. Something like that. So.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have a little quick story I wanted to share about Mark. I know my boys were little rink rats, and actually my youngest and one of his friends were hanging around the rink, and Mark was practicing. He was out on the ice by himself during a rehab stint last year, and he went over for a bottle break. My boys were down by the glass, and he actually called them over and just talked to the boys and say, "Hey, how's hockey going? How's school going? And remember, grades are important. Keep working hard. School's just as important as hockey." And that kind of stuff really sticks with the boys. They still talk about that.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, what a privilege it is to play hockey for a living. So, and I remember when I was that age, like I was in love with the game, in love with all the players, like all of it, just it was who I was. And so, I mean, sometimes you get wrapped up in like, when it starts being the way you cash your paychecks, you forget like why you're actually doing this. And kids are a great way to remember that, and it gives you a chance to get back. And I do it as much as I possibly can. And
actually, when I'm coaching my boys, especially my youngest, when I'm telling him when he needs to kick his style up, it's a code word now. I lean over to him. I say, "More Hagel." It means I need you working. I need you digging.
Yeah.
And to be honest, and you can probably chime in on this, I think that's something that we're starting to see a few sparks of now from the Wild. Get a couple of guys in that are a little more want to dig a little bit more. I know the game yesterday, it was nice to see a few bodies being thrown around. We did not look like a team that was third game in 3 nights.
Yeah.
Passion, like you said, wearing that A, but playing hard like you were born to wear it, like you're not even wearing it.
Right.
So, who was your hockey hero growing up?
Wayne Gretzky. It was just, everything.
Down the street?
Yeah, 20 minutes down the road in Brantford. Yeah, everything was Wayne.
Yeah.
My whole room. Yeah, never stopped.
So is all Southern California. If you go there, I mean, the sport is so grown. In Southern, like, Anaheim and all them places. It's all.
Yeah, we got a game in Cali last year. Like, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, that was nuts too.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you too. We have a lot of parents of hockey players that listen. What's something that your parents told you? I know with education, but something your parents also told you about hockey that made you still stay in love with the game, but also motivate you, or something your dad, like he was saying, he had something to say to his kids. Remember anything like that?
A few things. My grandma always said, same thing. Play your game, play your game, play your game. So you can get, what I mean. You can't worry too much about everything else that's going on. You need to take your own personal accountability, make sure you're playing your own game out there. My dad really, I was always a smaller guy getting cut from teams, like really, besides when I was 7 years old, but everyone's good when they're playing house league type. Like I wasn't a prodigy by any, but it's just, you stick with it. You can always improve. You can always get better. And I'm still feel like I'm getting better every time I get out there today. So, I wasn't supposed to make it, but with all the money they put in and everything they leveraged on my dream, they believed in me, and that's I just keep chipping away, and hopefully I can get up to the NHL at some point.
Yeah.
Keep digging. 2 thoughts for you. If you were commissioner, what rule would you change?
Probably that one that we got dinged with last night, throwing the puck over the glass in your D zone.
Yeah, I know with Finley, that puck was rolling around. It's kind of hard to gas it off the glass, and it ends up getting.
So altogether, you think that's not, like, even if a guy, you think it has to be look intentional, or the bobbling?
I can't really get into what, I think they're doing a pretty good job with the game of hockey right now. It's just as a player, sometimes like, oh, geez, really? We're going short for that. But
gotcha.
Other than that.
Some rinks, the side glass is shorter than the end glass, which, maybe that's something to be factored into it. Anyways, real quick, last question. What's your thoughts on 3-on-3? We tend to ask everybody else so far versus the shootout.
Yeah, it's fun. It's it's exciting.
It's exciting to watch, boy.
Yeah,
it really is.
Again, it's part of the comment they've grown the game so much. The game, they want the games to end. They want the fans to be excited, and I think if you're gonna end a game in a shootout, 3-on-3 it's a real hockey scenario. It happens in games, so why? So why not?
Yeah, and actually, I did some numbers on it. We can talk about in the next section, but I think just ending a game without it being a gimmick and a skills competition.
You hated that.
I hate that. Come on. Although in rookie camp this year up in Mini, they actually did the shootout, but they had a chaser. So they had a guy on the other team starting on the other blue line. So at least you had to come in with some pace.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something to consider in there. But anyways, we're pretty much done with our segment. Thanks, Mark, for coming in.
Thank you so much. Seriously.
It's been awesome. And this is The Other State of Hockey on 1350 ESPN Des Moines.
Cool, guys. Thanks.
We suggest you stay off your ladder and let us take care of your gutters. We'd love to come out and show you why LeafGuard's patented seamless one-piece design is the best on the market. The only one with the good housekeeping seal, and LeafGuard is guaranteed never to clog or will clean your gutters for free. Call us today and get 50% off installation labor on a new LeafGuard brand gutter system. 599-1675. That's 599-1675.
Hey kids, why do you like going to the Iowa Wild games?
Crash, the t-shirt tie. I like Chuck-a-Pop. Crash always gives me a high five. It's fun catching t-shirts from the cannon, the goal horn when we score.
There's something for everyone with Iowa Wild Hockey at Wells Fargo Arena. Check out iowawild.com for the full season schedule, including a full list of giveaway nights and promotions for the family. Iowa Wild, hockey lives here.
I'm sitting here with Jeremy from Atomic Cloud Vaporium. I tried to quit smoking so many times. Patches, pills, nothing worked. Until I went to the Stop Smoking Center. And man, it has changed everything.
Here at Atomic Cloud Vaporium, we offer a solution using vaping as a replacement therapy. We have over 150 premium juice flavors and offer a wide variety of hardware. If you're serious about quitting smoking, come visit us at 3823 Douglas Avenue in Des Moines or at 328 Grand Avenue in West Des Moines. Atomic Cloud Vaporium.
This is Jordan from Flat Tire Center. There sure are a lot of places to buy tires. You can go to a warehouse club or the Mega We Sell Everything Superstore, or you can go to one of those anonymous websites. The same guy who sold you soap yesterday magically becomes a tire professional today, or the online tire advisors at a call center in who knows what country. we've been living, working, and driving in central Iowa for more than 50 years. Are you sure those other stores know what they're doing? Do you think they even care? If you need tires, come to Flat Tire Centers. That's flat with 2 T's because you too should ride on a flat.
Hey, this is Frank Mink, and if I had a first-round draft pick of realtors, I'd take Jen Stanbro.
Through my mortgage background and over 10 years of selling real estate in the Des Moines area, I have come to realize that my clients are my passion. Whether selling or buying your first or your 10th home, let me help you take the stress out of the process. I would love the opportunity to talk with you or someone you know that is looking to buy or sell a home. You can reach out to me by email at jen@jenstambrorealestate.com. And Frank, that's spelled STANBROUGH. jen@jenstambrorealestate.com.
From Iowa, yeah.
It's that small place with a big heart. It's the heartland, so we pump hard, get a fist up. We're gonna rage on till our day comes.
Tell 'em I'm from a city on
All
the
right.
map that you couldn't point
So this
out,
segment
but I
is
rep
brought
that
to you by,
place.
and I know I talk about them all the time,
But I grew up
Fuzzy
in
Taco.
home base.
I do. Yeah. So the other day, no, I'm there, and they said, "Man, do you really like eating here?" And I said, "I couldn't get this. What did I have? Let me think what it was. It was like a.
It was good.
It was a beef. So not. It was a beef taco. No, beef burrito, and the way they make it with this cilantro. Does that sound right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's like and it's smothered in this stuff. And I said, I couldn't get this thing off my mind. Like, I kept wanting to, like, go back to this thing. Like, every time I was hungry, I was like, oh, I should just drive to Ankeny, you know? And so I finally did again because, look.
Thanks for dropping by the way.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, right. Right by your crib. But So, look, Fuzzy Taco, if you haven't tried it, go there. Even in the morning, I'm telling you, these people are making them in the morning. The breakfast burritos, breakfast tacos are to die for. And that sounds like such a cliche, but really, I mean, I wouldn't kill you over one, but I would probably.
You'd rough you up for it.
I'd rough you up. I definitely would jack you up a little bit.
2-5-10.
That's right. So 2732 Southeast Delaware Avenue. It's in Ankeny. It's right across from Carl Chevrolet. Carl Chevrolet, right?
Yep.
They're not a sponsor. I gotta stop saying their name because
we need to bill them for the time we've given.
I'm coming in and getting that money from them too because then they'll maybe buy me some Fuzzy Taco.
Hey.
So anyway, stop in there. Go see the Elliott family. The great people, hockey people. Son's a great hockey player coming up in the squirt division. So anyway, check them out. Fuzzy Taco.
One of our faves. So great segment there with Marc Hagel from the Iowa Wild.
Great kid.
Great kid. We could have kept talking to him. I had a whole bunch of stuff we could have even gone down, but it's great to see he's the atypical hockey player. You know, we think about the guy, the superstars coming out of juniors and 18-year-old kids, you know, probably finished high school or I'm assuming they did, but the fact that, you know, this guy has got his head together.
Right. He kept saying, I held off.
Yeah.
I knew the hold off.
But it was persistence.
Wow.
And it was the right route for him.
Mm-hmm.
That takes a lot of maturity to figure out because everybody's thinking, you know, I got to go junior. I got to get drafted.
Right.
And, you know, he got cut from teams. And this is a good word for kids out there who listen to this. You heard him talk about it. When he was 14, 15, he was getting cut from his travel teams.
Right.
You know, and he kept it up.
He said he was a late bloomer.
Yeah. And, you know, following in the footsteps of a older brother who was 4 years older than him, who was had established himself as a hockey player. But, you know, he's another story. He's, I believe, played now on 8 different his brother, Kyle, has played on 8 different AHL teams. So he's not afraid of a suitcase.
Right.
But,
and he's persistent.
Persistent, working. And he's one of those character guys. He doesn't score 50 goals.
Right.
But he's energy. He's energy.
He just comes in. He's got the big knot on his eye. You know, he's just
and he had the flow, which I didn't want to get into him too much on that, but
he had a nice flow.
He does have good flow. I didn't ask him about product because, you know, I guess that would have been a limited conversation for this part. But it's special thanks to Mark. And actually, going back to something we did talk about, talking about 3-on-3 versus the overtime.
Oh, go ahead. I
done some research.
I like that. I know you did, and I like these numbers.
Historically, since the shootout was instituted, 13% of games has gone to a shootout, which, and then, of course, the advent of 4-on-4 really didn't make that much of a difference to it. 3-on-3 created the open ice. They change ends, so it's the longer shift or longer change, which makes it harder. And then the mix of how do you coach against it? How do you put out 3 defensive guys and just play for the shootout, or do you try to put out some younger guys who run and gun? We saw our first taste of that at Wells Fargo last weekend.
Exciting.
It was exciting and just interesting to see how what kind of guys they put out there. But anyways, 13% before the 3-on-3. So far this year, we know the season's early, but We're on pace for just over 6% of NHL games and AHL games going to a shootout. So 6%. I think the Wild have only had one shootout, which was a win, actually, I believe.
Okay.
Or it might have been two. I could be wrong, but 6%, just over. That's a significant decline, which I am excited about because we're ending hockey games the way hockey games should be ended, with a hockey play.
And that game this weekend.
Yep.
Interesting game because it goes into play what we talked about at the beginning of our show when we first started doing our show, not today's show, but when there's a penalty, you don't subtract guys, you start adding guys.
Yeah.
And that's interesting for people to get that. By the end of the 3-on-3, it was a 5-on-3.
Right. And then went to a 5-on-4 right as the goal was scored.
Guy got released, he came out, and then wonder what they have to do. They have the next stoppage, it goes back to the 4. It would be the 4-on-3 then. Okay.
Yes.
Because the guy
can't have less than 3 players.
And it was and then the Wild scored on a beautiful power play goal.
From a defenseman.
Yes.
Oh,
no.
Matt Carey. Sorry, he's a winger.
Yeah. Who is the stud? No, it was number 9. Who's number 9? He scored it. I'm sorry. I'll look it up. He scored the goal. Number 9. I promise you.
Okay, I'll let you research it.
I'll research it.
All right. So, anyways, we will get to this segment. We will talk about all things Wild. Nice little segue into that with Mark. So we back on Friday the 30th, they went to Rockford and had a rough game of it. Lost 4-0. Mike Riley, thank you. Yes. I don't know why I blanked on that.
Mike Riley, number 9.
Who is, of course, a defenseman.
It is a defenseman. You are right. You were correct on half of it.
Yes. I believe actually only 2 defensemen saw the ice pretty much that entire third period. Riley and Gus and Olofsson. 13 was there for a good number 13.
And Mike is, if he's 6'1", 190 pounds, slender, probably fast, and that's what we talk about. It can't be that big.
It can't be a phenomenon.
Pronger. Yeah, it can be a pronger.
A pronger even.
Yeah, it can't be a pronger.
No, because you can't go body to body. You got to go. The way I'm starting to see it, you're taking one-on-one assignment, and the other 2 are playing zone.
Right, and that's what I was thinking too. Is for the coaches listening to the show, it can't be all man on man, and it can't be zone. It can't be both.
Right, you have to mix it up somehow.
Right, unless you get back down and you get into the triangle. But it's interesting, and I love it.
Yeah, I love it. So back to the Wild. Saturday night, we talked a little bit about Friday. They lost 4-0. Came back, so it was a 3-3, which they often refer to it. So 3 games and 3 nights. Saturday against Milwaukee, managed to claw into a lead. Then Milwaukee scored, I think, about a minute 28 or so left in the third.
Yeah, on a garbage call.
Yeah.
Tripping call.
Yep. There was Fortunas went in the box late for basically leaning on a guy, honestly, it looked like. I
don't even think he leaned. That kid from Milwaukee, I think he was 23 or 32, I can't think of it. He fell probably 6 times that game on his own. He looked like a sea leaguer.
Yeah.
He really did. And it was so funny that I happened to mention to a guy in the press box with me that was one of their guys, one of Milwaukee's, I said, jokingly, I said, that guy, earlier in the third period, I said to him, that guy's fallen a bunch of times. He joked about laughing. We were joking about how he'd fallen all by himself twice, and then he gets tripped up and he falls. And I looked over at the guy and,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? And he knew it wasn't a penalty. He goes, he obviously was tripped.
Yep. Yep. Smitty, outstanding. Had a couple of really nice saves in there.
Beautiful save.
Yeah. One he dove across and was caught with the elbow of his trapper.
Yep.
Unbelievable. He was 40 for 42, so 40 saves on 42 shots. We saw a nice dig-in goal from Sutter.
Yes, beautiful goal.
Beautiful goal scored from his face. That's a tough kind of blue-collar goal. 2 of the 3 goals we got came from defensemen. We got the overtime winner from Riley, and before that, we had Joe, number 3, Joe Finley.
Yep.
A small gentleman, about 6'8", 247 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
He put an absolute cannon past the goalie. He went actually over his glove because Magnuson is a right-handed catch.
Yes.
And went in the top corner.
It was a tip.
It was a tip?
I think it might have hit. I know it hit somebody. It might have hit one of their players, but it was.
When they showed the replay up on the big board, his stick bent about 8 inches at least. I mean, that guy leaned on that thing. That was a cannon.
That hit somebody, went about 6 inch higher as it got to the net, and that's what beat him. Because he had his glove there. It just went.
Yeah,
just a little bit higher.
Right in the top corner.
Beautiful.
So nice to see the D kicking in. But Sunday, they had played Rockford, which they've always played Rockford Rockford's has owned us, to be quite honest. Lost 2-0. It was really 1-0 with an empty netter. For the fact that this team was playing 3-3, they were hitting well. There was a lot of board shaking going on, which was really good to see. We had a few new guys in there that is worth talking about that mucked it up a fair bit. Andrew Yogan, who's new center they signed on, which we know this team's a little depleted in centers right now. Right. Very important to have because we're not scoring up front, to be quite honest. Kellen Lane, 6'6" kid. He was out there with trying to remember who he was on the line with, but that line was throwing bodies around. He was out there with Ballmer and I've forgotten. I think that was Yogan's line as well. He's 6'3", so you're looking at a line that has an average height of about 6'3", 6'4".
Right. And now you think too, when a team's coming off of 3-3, you think 3 nights and 3 games when they're hitting. You think, well, that's got to be tiring too. But honestly, though, when you're doing the hitting, you get, it's not as much like you.
When you're offensively hitting versus getting pounded. Right.
It's just like when those power plays where the play staying alive for a minute and a half, and you tell the D team, you can tell the shorthanded team is dead tired, and you think, well, why isn't he? Because it's when you're chasing the puck, you get more tired than even when you have the puck.
It wears on you too.
It does.
You get psychological. You start feeling you're getting beat down. You can't think. You're just thinking, I get the puck, I got to get rid of it. Forcing you to think as opposed to taking it to them.
Right. When you're working your plays and knowing where you are, you can't save your energy.
It was one of the few times I believe we actually outshot an opponent this year. So it was actually, I was happy with not obviously happy with the outcome, right? But the boys played well, and which I'm starting to see. Like
you're not with the outcome, but the output.
Yes, the output.
Team.
Yes,
thank you.
As we said to Mark, seeing that grinding, seeing that energy, the digging, the want to.
Right.
Forget about the record. Let's go and come out with some pride. You can. We always tell our boys, you can win, lose, or get beaten.
Right.
And they did not get beaten.
There's 3
things.
The
scoreboard didn't agree with them. So great to see. Hopefully, we're going to have some more success coming. They have this week coming up Thursday. They're playing 10:30 in the morning. So if you're available, go down and check it out.
Yeah.
Playing
school,
Milwaukee.
Right?
That is a school game, which apparently they got a fair number of buses coming. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know if I'll be there, but then this weekend, 7th and 8th, Saturday, Sunday, we've got Lake Erie in town, which marks the first return, I believe, of TJ Tynan, former Des Moines Buccaneer.
Yes.
Let's see if we can get a mic or a phone in front of him, or just a quick, hey, how you doing?
I go down. You know what is that? What game is that? The Friday night game?
It is Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday. Okay. We'll try to get down there and get the intervw.
Yeah, just see what his thoughts are and what his memory is of Des Moines are, and who knows? Maybe we can get him even on the air. You never know.
That's right. See if he heard of our show yet.
Yeah, I doubt it, but we are getting around in circles.
We are. It's 6 people circle.
Yeah, but it's
it's got to catch on.
It's got to catch on somewhere. So, anyways, good things are starting to happen. Just it's gonna take a while. We hope that we have 100% faith in Coach and his team.
Yeah,
just gonna take some while. Take a little bit of time. Solid goaltending's been the clue here. So that's one thing we didn't have last year.
And that's where you build.
Yeah.
Every time we've ever talked to a head coach, you're building a team. Goaltending, first thing is goaltending. So we have it.
Yeah. So it was great to see great forechecking, good physical play, good goaltending. Good things will come from that.
Right.
So that pretty much brings an end to this segment. We will be back with Overtime.
Hi, Joe Smith here from Leaf Guard Exteriors. We suggest you stay off your ladder and let us take care of your gutters. We'd love to come out and show you why Leaf Guard's patented seamless one-piece design is the best on the market. The only one with the good housekeeping seal, and Leaf Guard is guaranteed never to clog or will clean your gutters for free. Call us today and get 50% off installation labor on a new Leaf Guard brand gutter system. 599-1675. That's 599-1675.
Hey kids, why do you like going to the Iowa Wild games?
Crash, the t-shirt tie. I like Chuck-a-Pop. Crash always gives me a high five. It's fun catching t-shirts from the cannon, the goal horn when we score.
There's something for everyone with Iowa Wild Hockey at Wells Fargo Arena. Check out iowawild.com for the full season schedule, including a full list of giveaway nights and promotions for the family. Iowa Wild, hockey lives here.
I'm sitting here with Jeremy from Atomic Cloud Vaporium. I tried to quit smoking so many times. Patches, pills, nothing worked. Until I went to the Stop Smoking Center. And man, it has changed everything.
Here at Atomic Cloud Vaporium, we offer a solution using vaping as a replacement therapy. We have over 150 premium juice flavors and offer a wide variety of hardware. If you're serious about quitting smoking, come visit us at 3823 Douglas Avenue in Des Moines or at 328 Grand Avenue in West Des Moines. Atomic Cloud Vaporium.
This is Jordan from Flat Tire Center. There sure are a lot of places to buy tires. You can go to a warehouse club or the Mega We Sell Everything Superstore, or you can go to one of those anonymous websites. The same guy who sold you soap yesterday magically becomes a tire professional today, or the online tire advisors at a call center in who knows what country. We've been living, working, and driving in central Iowa for more than 50 years. Are you sure those other stores know what they're doing? Do you think they even care? If you need tires, come to Flat Tire Centers. That's flat with 2 T's because you too should ride on a flat.
Hey, this is Frank Mink, and if I had a first-round draft pick of realtors, I'd take Jen Stanbro.
Through my mortgage background and over 10 years of selling real estate in the Des Moines area, I have come to realize that my clients are my passion. Whether selling or buying your first or your 10th home, let me help you take the stress out of the process. I would love the opportunity to talk with you or someone you know that is looking to buy or sell a home. You can reach out to me by email at jen@jenstanbrorealestate.com. And Frank, that's spelled STANBROUGH. jen@jenstanbrorealestate.com.
From Iowa, yeah.
It's that small place with a big heart. It's the heartland, so we pump hard, get a fist up. We're gonna rage on till our day comes.
And we are back on the Other State of Hockey, 1350 ESPN Des Moines.
It's overtime.
Overtime. This is the only full-time hockey show in the state of Iowa that talks about all things hockey. We give the attention to the sport that it justly deserves, that nobody else wants to pick up.
That's right.
So,
And
anyway,
if you want us to talk about something or you know something interesting,
get a hold of us.
Facebook,
Twitter. Email. Watch our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So tie a note to a brick and throw it through a window.
Just don't call me. Just don't call me.
Frank's cell phone number. No, kidding. So picking up speed here. We only got about 6.5 or so to go. So this is going to be fast and furious. Bucks beat Dubuque last week 4-2, are marked by our boy Magoo starting to come back, and he is leading the team with whopping 7 goals.
Yes.
Way to go, Magoo. And friend of the show, of course.
Yes.
Had a rough one against Cedar Rapids on Halloween night. Just got into trouble early. Lost 5-1. So they're 5-6-1 right now. Davey Allison, of course, we love the man. Friend of the show. And
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, honestly, probably one of the most entertaining guys you can sit down and talk to.
Yeah. And just knows his stuff.
Oh,
boy.
my gosh. I mean, he's just unreal.
I mean, he should be the one that has a radio show.
He should be. Yeah. Unfortunately, we have the faces for it. So.
That's right. Davey does too.
Davey, probably. Yeah. We hope he's listening.
Wait till he sees.
Well, I hope he's not listening for that.
No,
part,
he'll listen and he's gonna say
he's
something.
He's smarking. All right. So they have Fargo coming up Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
Best of luck to the boys at home.
Yes.
And hopefully we might stick our nose in the building. So we talked about last week other teams around. We talked about the Quad City Mallards.
Yes.
We are going to talk a little bit about the other team that is in Iowa. They are a junior team. They are a Tier 3 NA 3HL team that basically is a Tier 3 junior affiliation. And so just to kind of give you a little bit of spectrum here, the Bucks are considered Tier 1.
Right.
Tier 3. So this is basically a pay-for-play, more or less, to a certain degree. They are based out of Mason City, which we have actually played in.
Yeah, we
played in that building.
Yeah, we coached in that.
Interesting old building.
Yes, it is.
It's seats on one side. It only has ice during the winter months because it's used for cattle shows and tractor shows and everything else during the rest of the year.
It's Iowa, baby.
It's an interesting building.
It is.
It's if you need to check out a game. There's a very energetic atmosphere for a junior league team.
We did very well there.
We did.
Two tournaments we played.
We played 2. Yes, yes. And I believe I've got 1 or 2 coming up there this year. So a little bit about what the NA3 is. Like I said, it's a nationwide. Actually, they're a lot wider than I thought it was. They have 5 divisions. They go all the way from Louisiana, all the way to Montana, and all the way as far, I believe, as Wisconsin, even further east than that. So the North Iowa Bulls, they entered the NA3 in 2011. They were champs in 13 and 14. This is their 5th season.
Okay.
So they have a USHL affiliate with Bloomington Thunder. They have a WHL affiliation with the Everett Silvertips. So this is, once again, a developmental system. The goal is if you make this, your goal is either to make Tier 2 or Tier 1.
Okay.
Which so it's a developmental system for junior. For after 12 games so far this year, these guys are on a tear. They're 11-0-1. They've scored 73 goals.
Wow.
In 10 games or 11 games. Sorry, 12 games, and have allowed 12 goals.
It's literally a barn burner.
It is. It's an whole barn. One of their games against Chicago back in late September, they beat them 16-1.
Wow.
So these guys know how to score. They've had 4 shutouts in 12 games.
16.
We got to get up and check these guys out.
We do.
Yeah, I know we had a chance last year, but everything I heard, it's interesting.
That's right.
Barn burning old time hockey.
When we were there for the tournament, they had the game was played at night.
Yep.
And we didn't get to go. I didn't get to go.
Well, we had other commitments, I guess. But,
Yeah.
Anyways, these guys are in first place in the Central Division. So North Iowa Bulls. Interesting. I don't know if we can get. We may probably need to make a contact there, see if we can get somebody on the air.
Sure. Yeah. Like to get a coach or captain or something.
So, hockey is everywhere. It is all throughout the state.
And mentioning that, I want to bring up this weekend, if anyone wants to come out, Saturday or Sunday early, but how about Sunday about 3:30, 4 o'clock, come out to Skate West. And the later you go on in the evening, so about 5 o'clock, you'll start seeing the older boys play roller. It is our playoff tournament. We do it all in one day. You just battle it out. Great games. So you want to come out and watch some great roller hockey, come out to Skate West. Between 3 and 6 o'clock, you'll start catching some games. Games are pretty quick. They're 2 periods in roller and about 15 minutes long, 20 minutes. No, sorry, 12 minutes now we have. So you come out, catch some great youth hockey roller. This is our big tournament weekend, and it's a lot of fun. So Skate West Hockey Sunday. And also go to, coming up very soon, I believe it's this weekend, we've got Try Hockey for Free. I believe it's this weekend. It's go to dmyha.com. Yes.
Des Moines Youth Hockey Association.org.
Just Google Google Des Moines
I believe
Youth
it's
Hockey.
coming up this weekend. Try hockey for free. Show up with and we'll outfit you with equipment.
Yeah.
Come out, you get a jersey. Get your kids out excited about hockey. Get them excited as we are. This is The Other State of Hockey on ESPN Des Moines 1350. See you next week. Keep your stick on the ice.
That's it.
And it's love hate, but I grew up here, so it's home base. Where my blood at? Those memories, they all flood back. I remember cruising Cuddy Road with a blood.